In the roll call of battles from the Western Front, few resonate as poignantly as Passchendaele. Around 100,000 Australians fought here in 1917 in an offensive known as the Third Battle of Ypres, and their sacrifice is remembered at a place where more Commonwealth soldiers are buried than anywhere else in the world, Tyne. This is the battlefield of Brudzindt, one of the key Australian victories in the 14-week struggle. Ahead is Tyne Cemetery. In autumn 1917, it's the site of the German lines. Beyond lies Passchendaele Ridge. This takes in the view from the enemy front line on October the 4th, looking toward the Allied positions. Behind us, the Germans were well dug in. Their fortifications are still visible among the gravestones. In a textbook assault, Australians and New Zealanders attack directly across these fields. Individual acts of courage stand out. Sergeant Lewis McGee takes an enemy position to the left, yet he is killed just days later without knowing his bravery had earned the Victoria Cross. Sergeant Lewis McGee is buried here at Tyne, one of almost 1,400 Australians and 10,500 other British and Commonwealth troops. A further 35,000 British soldiers with no known grave are remembered here on this memorial wall. Sited on the battleground, the cemetery's focal point is this cross, built over a German bunker. Following successes at Menin Road, Polygon Wood and Brudzindt, the Allied offensive continues beyond Tyne with the next attack on Passchendaele itself. Eventually a success, but at enormous cost. That loss of life is remembered here in Ypres, at the Menin Gate, a memorial to the thousands of men whose bodies were never recovered. For Allied soldiers arriving a century ago, these walls were a portal to the horrors of the Ypres salient beyond. After the war, this site was chosen for a memorial to the missing. 6,191 Australians and 48,000 other British and Commonwealth troops. Soon after the gate's completion in the 1920s, a moving ritual began. Every evening, whatever the weather, local buglers play the last post and recite the Ode to the Fallen, a gesture of gratitude to those who fell defending this country. The ceremony was stopped only during the German occupation of World War II, and it began again the first night the city was liberated. Like the people of Belgium, we will never forget.